Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Saket. In this video, we are going to discuss about how to make a heat map. So before moving on, a small request to like and share this video, and if you are new to my channel then please subscribe it, and you can also hit the bell icon so that you can get all the notifications of my latest video. So let's get back to the square one. So how to make a heat map? So first of all, heat map is used in machine learning projects and data visualization. So let me just give you or show you how a heat map looks like. So here you can see this is an example of heat map. You can just have overview of it. It's like here you can see that different types of rows and columns are here, and they are somehow related to each other, and the relation is shown with the color in the square and the value also present in the square. So both of them represent the relationship between the row and column. So let's move forward. So first of all, we have to understand the topic of correlation. To understand heat map, we must know this topic correlation. So correlation is basically based on concept of proportionality. So in proportionality, if one value is increasing, then the simultaneously other value is also increasing. Or it can be like that: if one value is increasing, then the other value is decreasing. So I think you have understood what I am trying to say you. So let's move forward. So types of correlation. There are two types of correlation: positive correlation and negative correlation. So in positive correlation, both the values are increasing. Okay. And in negative correlation, one value is increasing and the other value is decreasing. I hope you are understanding everything till this point of time. So before moving on, we are going to start the coding section and we will make our own heat map. There is a small prerequisite of this video that you must be having some basic knowledge of Python. So if you know the basic knowledge of libraries in Python, it will be beneficial for you. Although I will explain everything from scratch. So don't worry. So let's start the coding section. Let me open my collaboratory. So here you can see that I have connected to the servers. So let's start coding. So let first of all we have to import all the libraries. So I am importing the libraries. We are importing NumPy as NP. So NP will just represent NumPy library. So it will reduce our time. So if we write again and again NumPy, it will create a it will reduce our time, as writing NumPy will again and again will be a loaded work. So let me import other libraries also. Import matplotlib library. So here you can see that the option is came, and we need Seaborn library also. SNS. So let me just run this. So here you can see that we have imported all the libraries. So let me just show you what is the basic work of these libraries. So let me just open my whiteboard. So in libraries, there are four types of libraries we have: NumPy, Panda, and Matplotlib, PyPlot, and Seaborn. So these two libraries are basically used for data visualization. And NumPy library is basically in which data is in array format, and in Pandas the data is in form of tables. So table give us a better understanding of what is the data look like. So we can understand data in a better form in Pandas. So I think you have understood everything till this point of time. So let's get back to the code. So now we have to import dataset. So in this section we are going to import dataset from sklearn. So sklearn is a framework of data from where we are importing Boston dataset. So let me just type the code. From sklearn.dataset. importing load Boston. So Boston is a city in USA, and there are different types of houses, and the data set will be on the prices of those houses. So let me make a variable in which we will load this data set. So now let me just run this. I just simply created a new variable in which I have loaded this data set. So let me just show you. So in this we sklearn will just provide us the as I already told you that sklearn will provide the Boston house price data set. So there are prices of house and it is made up of a data set. So let me just get back to the code. So now let me just show you how this data set look like. So printing this data set house Boston. So now you can see, yes. So here you can see that everything is printed here. It is in a gibberish form, as you can see that we cannot understand it properly. But here you can see that there are features name. These are basically different type of columns here, like crime rate. You can see the room, number of rooms, the age of the house, and there will be one more column which will be called price. So now we have to convert this data set into a more readable form. So we will convert the NumPy array into a more readable form. So we will convert this by using pandas data frame. So here this library will be used. So let me just open again my code. So now we will convert this NumPy array format into pandas data frame. So let me just create a new variable house. First let me just type the code, then I will explain everything. House Boston, and the columns will be house Boston dot features name. Let me just put it back here. So features name. So now here you can see that I have I'm just converting this data set into pandas data frame, and I am storing it into a new variable house. So in the columns in which the in columns which will have this house the data frame will be the features name of this house Boston. So now one more thing I have to do. I have to create a target column. So house, and I will create it like the I will create this price data set price column as my target column. Now let me just run this code. So I think it is actually running. So let me just show you now how this data set is looking. So let me just show the first five lines of this code by using head. So head will print the first five rows of this data set. So here you can see that different columns are here, and the last column, the target column, is price. And here you can see that age, room, crime rate, all are mentioned. If you want more number of rows, then you can print like 10, then it will print 10 columns, 10 rows. So here you can see that 0 to 9, 10 rows are there. So now let's get back to the square one. So now will show that how many rows and columns are actually present in this house variable. So just we showing this house dot shape. So here you can see that 506 rows and 14 columns are there. So now we will actually make our heat map. So first of all we have to make a new variable, correlation. Correlation is equal to house. So our variable is house dot cor. So this is the syntax which you have to follow. And now we will construct our heat map. So let me just write this, constructing heat map. So here we will use our libraries which were used in data visualization like Seaborn and Matplotlib. So PLT, which is we have used Matplotlib library, figure size, the fixed size I am putting, you can put whatever you want, but I am putting here 10 on 10. You can give a different also, it will not create a great significance. So now I will call the heat map. So this, you have to keep in mind the syntax, otherwise you will get error. So first of all we have to call this variable correlation, and always keep in mind the commas, otherwise you will get error. C bar is equal to column bar is equal to, we want column bar in our heat map, so we will keep it true. And we want the values in the column bar up to 1 decimal, so we will keep the FMT is 0.1 F. And we will need annotations also. I will explain you what are annotations. Just let me just type this whole code, then I will explain everything. Annotate keys also are needed here, so let me just type it. So here I am keeping the size 8, and the C map will just give the color of our map. So let us give the color as red. So now let me just run this code, and then I will explain you what is this annotations and annotate KWS. So here you can see that our heat map is made here. So let me just first tell you what are these annotate and annotate KWS. So let me just, here is let consider this as a heat map. Then this is the value that are present in the heat map, like 1, 4, 51, and different types of values are there. Then this value which is inside this column or this square is called anode, and the anode KWS represent the size in which the values are displayed. Okay, so I hope that now you understand what is anode and anode KWS actually means. So let's get back to the code. So here you can see that our heat map is properly made and the whole code is running properly. So let me just explain you. Like here are crime rate, rooms, number of rooms, ages, and different columns here also, and the same columns are here also. So like this is our target column, price. If number of rooms in the house increase, then definitely the number of the price of the house will definitely increase. So you can see that it is positively correlated, 0.7 value positive. And if the age of the house is more, then definitely the rate of the house, the price or the rate of the house will be decreased. So you can see that it is in negative, minus 0.4. And the color, the darkness of the red color is also changing here. You can see that the color is changing when it is in negative. It is more lighter when there is a negative value. So I hope that you have understood everything. Like if you don't like this color, then you can change it. Like let's give blue color. So now let us run it. So here you can see that the new color is blue. So whole heat map is converted into blue color. So I hope that you have understood everything this till this point of time. So thanks for watching this video. And if you face any more difficulty in making heat map, then you can contact me with my email. I have provided the link, my mail in the description box. So thanks for watching this video. Thank you very much.